Okay, ladies, so we're gonna do it again today. And today we're gonna take a glimpse back to the year 1994 in this Word Up magazine that I have, vintage Word Up magazine. I used to love for Black Beat and Ride On, but I also had Word Up in my collection. So I'm gonna share this particular Word Up with you, just as I shared my Ebony magazine with you ladies yesterday from 1989. And what I'm doing here is that I want us to remember, a much simpler time in history when it came to our hair, where we didn't really, struggle or fuss that much with our hair, in regards to, if the lace front is glued on right, if the sewing weave is sewed in right, is this 1B color, is this Yaki, or is this Brazilian Remy, this is an example, of what our natural God-given hair used to look like. Okay. Now, back then, we were introduced to the relaxers, especially in the 80s, a lot of relaxer ads I started noticing in the magazine. And this magazine, the Word Up, is from 1994, so of course it's going to be the more relaxed hair. But you're going to see relaxed hair and as well as natural looking hair, just as this young lady you see that seems to be wearing braids. From afar, it looks like dreadlocks, but I took a closer look and it seems like it's braided. Okay, but you know, apart from that, in this example with the braids, yes, she may have added some hair, but at least it's not, the exaggerated forms of, sewing in weaves and gluing in the weaves. It's still like looks like it could be her real hair, because nowadays, unfortunately, you could tell right away, you know that a beautiful black woman is wearing, fake hair. you know Most of the time, at least I could, a lot of weaves have come a long way. I'll give them that credit. But many times, when they're not installed properly, when they're not the right color, especially, when they're those loud ass colors, those blonde colors, those red colors, those pink colors, those blue colors, right away that that's not your hair. And look at how beautiful when we wear our real hair. The other two young ladies' hair is relaxed, as you can see. I've told you, whether it's shoulder length, or she seems to have a little bit longer, maybe it's down to a bra strap length hair, maybe even longer than that, when you really stretch it. But it's their real hair, and I'm living for this. I'm living for this. So this is a glimpse back to the year 1994. So what were you doing back in 1994? Oh, that's 31 years ago. But like I said in yesterday's video, it seems like a long time ago, but not really. It's like just a blink away. Just a blink away. Anyway, these beautiful black young ladies is a girl group called Cut Close. Okay, I divided the pages into like these little strips, so I will remember all of the pictures that I want to share with you ladies. So this is the gorgeous young ladies here, discovered by megastar Kiss Sweat. Atlanta's Cut Close stand a great chance of going on to glory. Okay, I never heard of them, to be honest, but you know, I'm showing them because of their gorgeous hair. Awesome, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So natural. Like it takes so little to bring out our beauty, ladies. Okay, this is Shantae Moore. Okay, she was also a singer back then, really popular singer. And here she seems to be wearing her shoulder length hair relaxed. But as you can see, it looks like it's her real hair. I saw her in one of the articles. She seemed to be wearing some extensions from length, but in this particular picture, you could kind of tell that it's her real hair. It's just that's just relaxed right now. Okay. All right. Let me go to the next page. I'm going to show you the brat. So is this her real braids or not? You see? Even the brat was sporting her real hair. Okay? Looking gorgeous. Okay? She don't have to do too much. See all she did, you know what I be doing, what I be showing you ladies, the two-strand twist. So even back then, before, I discovered protective styling, the brat was doing protective styling with the two-strand twist. Okay, so she has her hair relaxed, a nice little bandana going around her forehead, and now the only thing that I just noticed is that she's wearing rubber bands. Okay, and rubber bands falls into my list of black hair destroyers. So I would have, used, satin, the satin material bands, okay, that I've shown you that are black. But okay, but the point is that she's wearing her real hair. Look at how beautiful she looks. Okay, my favorite salt and pepper is here. Okay, all right, let's go to the next page. Okay, so I noticed this young lady here. Just wanted to show you that she too is wearing her real hair. TV actress signs a major recording deal. So this is Tasha Scott, the former star of the Fox TV show South Central, has recently signed a deal with Michael Jackson's MJJ Records. Wow. Recently seen in a Coke commercial. Scott is a gifted recording artist with an incredible style and range. Watch for her. All right. So this is Tasha Scott, sporting her real hair back in 1994. Okay, let's continue. Because I got quite a few more pages to show. All right, so this is the group called Jade. This is Jade. I don't know if you ladies remember a girl group, a trio called Jade. I remember their advertisements and their articles, kind of like this. Now, if I heard their music on the radio, um, I didn't know it was them because I wasn't following this group. My favorite group back then was Salt and Pepper. Uh huh. Okay, so what it says here, 5432, Yo, Time Is Up, the first single from their second album, Mind, Body, and Song. All right. They didn't exactly propel giant recording group Jade into the Janet Jackson, Salt and Pepper, or even SWV multi-platinum superstar category. Nevertheless, the dynamic LA-based sisters in song, Tanya, Kelly, Joy Marshall, and Dee Odai Reed made it clear that Jade is still a top chart contender. Okay, so I'm showing you ladies Jade because they're wearing gorgeous braids here. Okay, I love their braids. I told you that back then we were either wearing our hair relaxed, natural, in braids. Okay, and we weren't, uh, fussing with, you know, weaves that just look like you you're dealing with a doll or something. When we wore extensions or whatever, still it looked natural, like it could be our real hair. That's the point I'm trying to make. I think there was a. Let me see. Okay, here's a better picture here. So you see, beautiful black woman. Okay. Here looks like it's the dreads they're wearing. At least the one in the middle. Uh-oh, they're wearing the black hair destroyer sheer rubber bands. But back then we didn't know any better. Now we do, ladies. Now we do. If you follow Shima Hair 21, you should know not to wear the rubber bands. You still want to style it up, look for satin. Okay, satin material rubber bands, ladies. Okay. But natural beauty. Just look at the natural beauty. Okay. This is 1994. So imagine back in the 70s and the 80s, as I was showing you yesterday. Okay. All right. This is another group. Uh, Y question mark NV. Okay. The group seems to be wearing relaxed hair. Okay. But sporting and braids. So they wear relaxed hair and sporting braids. Okay, so see nowadays, unfortunately, uh, when you see hair like this to this length, unfortunately, it be a weave sewn in or glued in. But back then, it was our real hair. It was our real hair, our real hair. Okay, because weaves, in my personal experience, didn't start popping off until like the early 90s. Okay, the early 90s. But even though this is 1994, it still wasn't, it hadn't taken fire, if you know what I mean. It hadn't popped off. Like here and there, they'll wear weave and they will get picked on for wearing the weave too. The black boys in school, like when they spot a little black girl wearing a hair weave, they would notice it right away, and they would shame her for it. They'll say, "She wearing the weave. She wearing the weave." I remember that as if it was yesterday. I was in the sixth grade, and every time they spotted a little black girl wearing a weave, they would point and laugh and say, "She wearing the weave." So imagine how long, how far we've come from those days. Okay, in my school, that's what happened. I'm speaking. I'm speaking from memory here, speaking hardcore truth. They would shame the black girls for wearing, the weave. And who would have thought that it would take off in such a way that, like, it seems to me like 8 out of 10 of our beautiful black women are wearing weaves, and that's why I'm doing this video. So you will see that back then, this was us. Okay, this was us. We didn't have to wear weaves. We looked so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Okay, if you want to wear some braids, it's just a simple extension, and it's not loud, like it looks like it could be from your real hair. Okay, all right. Let's go to a second magazine here. I want to show you. So this is a Black Man magazine, and the reason why I purchased this magazine because I loved me some Tyra, and I was also remember back then in the early 90s, I wanted to be a model so badly. You know, I was already thinking about modeling. I think when I turned around 16. You know, you will read about it in my book, The Other Hiroshima, and modeling was everything to me. So I got this book, this magazine, because I love me some Tyra Banks. I was happy that she was making it. Like she was like the second Naomi Campbell. Okay, let me see where I divide it. Okay, hold on. I think I found the pages. Okay, so we're gonna be looking at this. Okay, let me take out something out of here. So this is called the top 10 sexiest women. All right. Now, not all of the gorgeous black girls are gonna be sporting their real hair per se, but we're gonna try to find them. Okay, they still look gorgeous. It still looks like it could be their natural hair. So, for example, Halle, Halle looks like she's wearing additions, because she she was famous, for her short, gorgeous hair, by the way. And of course, we got Tyra here. She's, she's a model, so she's gonna wear what she has to wear to make herself, sell the product that she's selling. Okay, but the colors, you see the curliness, the natural look. It looks like it could be her real hair. Okay, and then we have the gorgeous Lisa Ray. The gorgeous Lisa Ray here. Okay, now this page is kind of far away, so I'm not being able to tell if it's an additions or not, but it's natural. It looks natural, and it complements her. Okay, she looks gorgeous. Okay, There was. Here we got Vivica A. Fox. All right. Okay, so she's wearing a hairpiece up here, but notice the color, that the colors complements their skin tone. Okay, it's nothing loud, you know, like out of the way. Now sometimes you could get away with loud colors, but it just depends, ladies. It really depends. We got our Janet Jackson here. Okay, again, like an auburneish color, brownish color, complements our skin tone. Here we go, complementing our skin tone. Lisa Nicole Carson. All right, complements our skin tone. All right. This is Nia Long. I can see her hair here. This is Tracy Bingham. I used to love Tracy Bingham. Okay, complements our skin tone, the hair. Our gorgeous Toni Braxton. Okay. Okay, this is definitely her real hair, but it's gelled back. All right, this is Lila Rochon. Another gorgeous dude here. All right, there was another section in the magazine I wanted to show you where the girls really, okay, here it is. Now, let's just focus on their hair, all right? Now, this young lady here looks like this definitely could be her hair. And again, notice the color. Notice that it reaches shoulder length, the standard length that black women's hair usually grew. All right. It doesn't, like, you cannot say, oh, she's wearing a weave. That looks like her hair. Okay. So this is a 1999 back then. Okay. So we were, slowly but surely approaching the year 2000. Okay. Okay. This is the gorgeous Elise Neal. All right. So Elise was in Money Talks with Chris Tucker. I really loved her as an actress there. All right. Looks like it's her real hair. And look at the color. All right. Look at the complementary colors, ladies. That goes along that, you would not question whether it's not her real hair. This is Elan Carter. This is like a model or maybe even an actress. All right, definitely her real hair. Okay, seems to be, damp. She's modeling at the beach, so she's pulling off the look with damp hair. All right, and still looking gorgeous. This is the gorgeous Lisa Ray. Okay, the Players Club. All right, this is definitely looks like her real hair. Looks like it's relaxed, and she's, you know, looking dynamite. Lisa Ray was the rage back then, with the Players Club. I love that movie. It was lit, kind of like the movie Set It Off. You know, our black chick movies. Oh, it was amazing back then in the 90s. Amazing. Okay, another gorgeous model here, showing off the real hair. Okay. Again, I just need you to know, to see that, 99.9% of these pictures you don't see any hair weave inside. This was us back then, ladies. This was us just showing the beauty of our natural hair. We took the time to care to nurture our real hair. All right. Okay. Whether it was short or long. Okay. We found a way to make it work. Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's it with the magazines. Okay, let me look. Let me see this. Hold on. Let me see. I think I saw something. Another. Okay, let's keep on looking. Therese Randall. I love this hair color. Okay. Look at the gorgeous Sananda. May she rest in peace. Yes, unfortunately, she's gone now from breast cancer. But Ananda totally, this was totally her hair. She always reminded me of Tatiana Ali and Chili. All right, Chili from TLC and Tatiana Ali from The Fresh Prince. The hair, gorgeous. We got the gorgeous Lauryn Hill. You see, Lauryn Hill sporting her gorgeous locks. I used to love me some Lauryn Hill. She had the most beautiful face ever, you know, and showing, how gorgeous natural hair can be, you know, with the locks. Her look was the locks. We got the Bush right, okay. All right, looking gorgeous. All right. Recently seen in the box office blockbuster film Blade along with Wesley Snipes. The luscious Nabush Wright was first seen in the movie Zebrahead. Nabush later starred in the film Dead President. Oh, okay. I love Dead Presidents. Okay, so we did it. Okay, we did it, ladies. I hope you enjoyed this video as well. A glimpse back to the good old days. This time we went to 1994 and 1999. And you see what this, this, these magazines is a representation of what was going on, of, how we wore our hair, how lovely we looked it and natural, and, and we stood out. We didn't have to, wear the hair hats as they call us nowadays. You call them nowadays hair hats. We wore our hair. So, and the men loved us. They loved us. They ain't say, when you gonna put on that hair addition on, that hair piece on. We worked with what we had, and we looked so gorgeous, ladies. So amazing. We didn't have to do all this nonsense to our hair. You know what I mean? We just didn't. It was just it was just beautiful, natural, beautiful, whether short or long. We were so gorgeous with our natural God-given hair. Okay, you just have to know how to take care of it. Find the right products that complement our real hair, ladies. That's all we had to do. That's all we had to do. You see, from our actresses to our models, they wore their real hair. Our real hair, ladies. Our real hair. Our real hair. Okay? And definitely, definitely unforgettable. The woman of the unforgettable 1999 calendar. Okay? Our, you know, I don't know what else to say, ladies. Thank you for joining me again, taking a trip back memory lane when we honored and cherished and took care and loved our real hair. God bless.